Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today it is time for my best of 2018 video. So this is where I'm going to just round up all of my favorite products from the whole year. Some of these are things that I discovered this year. Some of them actually I discovered very recently. Some of them are things that I've had for even longer than this year, and they've been longtime favorites that have just made it through another year being a favorite. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to share this with you. I feel like I've got a really good list here, and I feel like I've made a lot of really good discoveries in 2018. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna kind of go in order of the order in which things are normally applied. So starting with makeup. The first item I wanted to mention is a foundation. This foundation has quickly become my favorite foundation. It's a drugstore foundation, and I think I purchased this back in the spring, and ever since I bought it, I've been using it pretty consistently, and I can say wholeheartedly it is for sure a favorite, and I think it'll be a favorite for a very long time. I can definitely see myself even repurchasing this once it runs out. And you might be able to guess, but my favorite foundation this year has been the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this, but I feel like the overall consensus has been really positive on this. So this has SPF 20. I don't really rely on this foundation on its own for SPF. I like to make sure that I'm layering it over an actual designated SPF product. I have it in the shade LN3. The shade range does range from pretty fair to pretty deep, so it's a nice spectrum of shades. I think it comes in 16 shades, which is pretty good for the drugstore, and especially for Physicians Formula. They've been known for having a very pitiful shade range in the past, so I really applaud them for that. But this foundation, it is what oh no, it's not what I'm wearing today. I should have worn it today. I'm actually wearing the Urban Decay Naked Skin on my face today. That one has been a favorite too, but it hasn't been like the best of the best. But this, I feel like, just looks so natural and skin-like on my skin. It has a solid medium coverage. It does have a doe foot applicator, which I know a lot of people don't like, but it's not my favorite type of packaging, but I'm willing to look past it because the foundation itself is just really nice. And I have just had such a good experience with this. This is just everything I want in a foundation. For me, I want a foundation to have good coverage, but not necessarily full coverage. And I really, most of all, I just want it to look natural and skin-like on my skin. It says it is for all skin types. I have normal skin, sometimes a little bit oilier, sometimes a little bit more dry. I feel like it just always, no matter what my skin is going through, it just looks nice on my skin. And it's just a foundation that I can rely on. So definitely my favorite foundation this year, one of my favorite discoveries of 2018 for sure. Another somewhat more recent discovery, I think I discovered this back in like late September, was a sponge. This is a beauty sponge. This is the first beauty sponge I have found that I actually really like. I'm getting more into sponges now. I think I'm kind of more on the sponge side now than I was before. I used to just be like a diehard brush fan. But the sponge that I discovered this year that I really like, it's very inexpensive. It's the Ecotools Sponge. Mine is currently very dirty for a reason because I use it a lot. I love the shape of it. I feel like the shape of it is a lot of the reason why I like it. It has a smaller flat edge that is great for concealer, and then it has a larger flat edge that you can use to just kind of buff in your foundation. It also has the rounded edge, similar to the Beauty Blender, so you kind of get all three. And then it's really nice, it's got this corner here that's really nice for just like getting right in there into like the corner of your eye to blend out concealer. It's just a really user-friendly sponge. I've had it for a few months now, using it on and off. I haven't used it like every single day, and it's still holding up pretty well. It does have a few little like tears in it and stuff, but I don't feel like that affects the functionality of the sponge. So I'm just really happy that I discovered this. I love that it's only like $3 or $4, and I definitely see myself continuing to repurchase this over and over again. Very happy that I decided to try this sponge. I feel like it's gotten a lot of negative reviews, but I really like it. Another product that I'm really excited to have discovered in 2018. It's a very basic product. It's not like that revolutionary, but it's the e.l.f. Smooth and Set Under Eye Powder. I mentioned this in my top 5 under 5 video. This one is almost gone. I probably have like another couple of weeks left of use in this, but I have already repurchased it. Actually, I thought I repurchased it, but I got the HD under eye setting powder from e.l.f. It's in a different packaging, but it's still like a loose translucent setting powder, so I'll have to see if it's the same thing. I'm not really sure yet, but hopefully it's at least similar enough. But I have just really enjoyed this for setting the under eyes. I feel like it does a great job just smoothing out my under eyes, keeping my under eye concealer from creasing or fading or, you know, moving around. It just kind of locks it in place, but it doesn't look unnatural or super powdery. It just does a great job kind of lightly setting that area. It's only about $4, and this little tiny container has lasted me over 6 months. So really happy to have discovered this. I felt like I was really needing something like this, and I'm glad that I found it. Let's move on to my eyeshadow favorites for the year. So I have two high-end palettes that are favorites. They're kind of tied as favorites for high-end, and then one drugstore type of eyeshadow palette. So I'll talk about the drugstore one first. So it's not really a palette, but it is just my ColourPop singles. I feel like this year I've really gotten into single shadows. I love that you can just kind of customize and pick out shades that you know that you'll specifically use, or that are adding something different to your collection that you don't already have. So the ColourPop shadows have been my favorite this year. I also purchased some Makeup Geek ones earlier this year, but I feel like for the price, the ColourPop are a better value. They're a little bit cheaper, and I feel like they're just as good of quality as the Makeup Geek, if not better. In 2019, I really want to try some other single shadow brands and really build up my singles collection, because I've just had a lot of fun with these. And these, while the quality of these isn't like the most amazing, some of them, they can be a little bit hit or miss, I've noticed, in terms of pigmentation and blendability and, you know, like how smooth each one is. Like, they're a little hit or miss, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but overall, I've just found some really fun colors, and they're all workable. They're all shades that I can work with, and none of them are like duds at all. So I've just had a lot of fun with those, but I really do want to try more single shadows in 2019 from other brands. So if you have any cruelty-free single shadow brand recommendations, let me know. My high-end palette favorites for this year, one of them is a repeat favorite. This was also my favorite last year. It's the Modern Renaissance palette. I know, it's getting old probably to hear about this one, but I still love it. I still just feel very happy when I look at this palette, and I enjoy every minute of using it. So this is still a favorite this year. I still felt like it was worth mentioning this year as a favorite. I originally was only going to mention my other favorite, which is the Soft Glam. This was a 2018 release. I think it released this spring. So I thought about only mentioning this one as my 2018 high-end favorite, but then I looked at my Modern Renaissance and I was like, these are both really tied. So the Soft Glam palette, I feel like this is just my perfect neutral palette, and I think I've heard that from a lot of people. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I went for kind of a New Year's Eve glam kind of look. I also have a Stila glitter kind of layered on top, but this is just such a nice palette. It's great for every day, but it's also great for like a more dramatic smoky eye. It's a very versatile neutral palette, I guess. It's not just like a boring palette like full of browns. I love the rose gold in here. I love both of these light shimmery golds. I love the shade Dusty Rose. It's got some really dramatic, like sparkly shades. Really nice matte black. That's what I have in my outer corner. I don't know. I feel like neutral shadows get a bad rap sometimes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with neutrals. I think you can still have fun with neutral eyeshadow looks. This palette makes neutrals fun for me, so this had to be a favorite this year. And then, of course, again, like I said, Modern Renaissance is also still just as much of a favorite. I still love it. I probably always will. So those two kind of came out on top for me for high-end palettes this year. That being said, I haven't tried a whole lot of high-end eyeshadow palettes. I've kind of stuck to ABH because they're just really good, but these two are definitely my favorite. You might have noticed I'm not including a product from every single category in this video, just because some categories, like concealer, for example, I just didn't have a product that really stood out as a favorite. So I'm not mentioning one product from every category, I'm just kind of mentioning my overall favorites. So I don't have like an eyeliner favorite, but I do have a favorite mascara for the year, and it's not one that I have with me anymore because it I've already thrown it away because it was empty or close to the expiration date. I think I kept it for even longer than 3 months because I liked it so much, but it was the theBalm Mad Lash Mascara. You might know that I am currently using the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. I do like this one, and I know that I kind of compared this one to the Mad Lash, but I feel like the more I've used this, the more I still like the Mad Lash a little bit better. And the Mad Lash is $18, so it's a little pricey, but of course you can get it on sale. So I'm not sure if I will repurchase it because I kind of do want to hunt for like a drugstore alternative. I want to try some more of the CoverGirl ones once I'm done with this one. But yeah, the Mad Lash for this whole year, of all the mascaras I've tried this year, well, of the handful of mascaras I tried this year, because I really have only probably tried like 4 or 5, the Mad Lash has been my favorite. It's just really great for lengthening and volumizing, and it has like a rubber bristle curved wand, which I found to be really nice for just like separating the lashes, lengthening them. It kind of does everything. It lengthens, it separates, and it builds volume. And I like that the curved wand it kind of lifts the lashes. So that was a really nice mascara, and I do miss it. It was a good find this year. So, okay, I have one lip product favorite. There are a lot of lipsticks and lip products and even lip balms I found this year that I really liked, but there's really only one that kind of stands out on top as like my absolute favorite for the year. And that is a very OG product. It's the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. This is just such a cozy lip product. Like it's the whole experience that I love. I love the scent. It just has a very light cupcake kind of scent, and the shade is just like the perfect nude color for me. It just feels so smooth on the lips. It's not too sticky, but it's not greasy either. It's kind of like the perfect happy medium. It's just so pleasant to me. Like this product is just, it just feels very cozy and pleasant. So this is my favorite for this year. I can't believe it wasn't until this year that I even bought this, because this has been raved about on YouTube for years now, but there is a reason for that, and I am very happy that I finally got it. I have just two brushes that I want to talk about in this video. You guys know I love my Wet n Wild brushes. Those have been favorites for a long time. You know I love my Ecotools brushes, but there's two brushes this year that I've tried that have stood out as being like game changers for me. The first one is a face brush. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. Again, this is like the most well-known like OG brush ever, but it wasn't until this year that I discovered it, and it was not until I had this brush that I actually really enjoyed highlighter. Like before I had this brush, I didn't even wear highlighter every day, and I realized that the reason for that was because I just didn't have the right brush. I felt like none of the highlighters I had would even really show up. I think I was mostly using like the e.l.f. small tapered brush for highlighter, and this is okay for highlighter, but it doesn't really pack a punch. And so it would just kind of give like a little diffused highlighter, but not enough. And so I just didn't really understand the hype around highlighters until I got the Real Techniques setting brush. And this brush has like completely changed the game for me. And there's a reason why everyone talks about this brush and why everyone loves this brush for highlighter. I'm sure it's also great for under eye setting powder, but I usually use the e.l.f. small tapered brush for under eye setting powder. But this is just the perfect size, the perfect shape. It has such a nice amount of taper to it, so it really picks up the product and distributes it really nicely. So this brush, I'm so glad I discovered it this year. I want to buy like 4 more just because it's so good. And then the eye brush that has kind of been a game changer for me this year, it's very new to me, I will say that. I've only had this for about a month, and this is probably the newest product I have that I'm mentioning in this video. This one I just had to mention because I feel like it has completely changed my eyeshadow game. It is the e.l.f. Detail Crease Brush. So the e.l.f. Crease Brush, also with the black handle, is also really nice. I actually have that one as well. And it's a rather small crease brush, and I think what I've found is that sticking with smaller crease brushes really does help me kind of control the eyeshadow better. Sometimes I have issues with my eyeshadow just going everywhere and, you know, going too far outside the lines. So, but this detail crease brush, I just bought this in like the Black Friday sale. I think I got it for, I guess, like $1.50 because it's 50% off. It is just like the perfect shape and size for applying eyeshadow to the outer corner. It's also great for like smudging under the lower lash line. It's kind of just like a smaller version of their crease brush, and it just gives me so much control. I feel like my eyeshadow just turns out way better when I use this. I used it in my e.l.f. Opposites Attract 2 Looks 1 palette video, and I talked about how I really want to buy like 4 more of these because it's just so useful. I feel like I need one for like the outer corner, one for the lower lash line, and then a couple more just like on backup. It's just such a good brush, and I'm really glad that I found it. And I think it has kind of taught me that I need to stick to like smaller brushes. Fluffy crease brushes are good for just kind of applying like a light transition shade in the crease, but these are great for, you know, doing more smoky looks. They keep things under control. I have had brushes that are kind of this size and for the same purpose in the past. Like I've had like pencil brushes, but those have always been too stiff. Like I have this one from Milani. This came from like their Jet Set eye brush trio, I think. And it's a little it's still nice and it's still useful, but I feel like it's a little bit too stiff. This one has a lot more give, so even though it's really small, it also kind of diffuses things nicely. So it's like the perfect mix between a crease brush and like an outer corner pencil brush. So really loving that, really happy I discovered it this year. The last 2 favorites I have are a couple of like reusable products. So the first ones are these reusable makeup removing cloths. So these have been a huge, I feel like I keep saying game changer. Most of these products have been game changers for me, which is why they're in this video. But these have been great. I use these pretty much daily to remove my makeup. All you do is wet them with warm water, really get them saturated with warm water, not too hot. You just remove your makeup with them, like you would with a wipe. They're super soft. These I got at TJ Maxx, I think. They used to have them. I haven't seen them at TJ Maxx in a while, but then again, I haven't been to TJ Maxx in a while. But take a look at TJ Maxx and see if you can find them there. I also bought these like smaller gray ones. These are from the brand Nora's Bisou. I got these from Amazon. I don't know if they're still available, but I'll link something similar down below. They're all pretty much the same, but they're just a very soft kind of microfiber material, and I feel like they're a lot gentler than face wipes. They do a better job removing my makeup than face wipes do, and they're more environmentally friendly, and they're more cost effective because you buy them once and you just machine wash them. They last a really long time. I've had these all for over 6 months for sure, and they've all held up really well. I can definitely foresee them holding up for a lot longer. But yeah, take a look on Amazon. I'll link something similar in the description box. My aunt actually for Christmas got me some more that I haven't tried yet, but these are from the brand Always Off. I'm not sure where she found these. I haven't tried them yet, but they're a similar kind of microfiber material, and they're really cute patterns too. These have like polka dots and stripes and stuff. And so I will also try these, and I'll see if I can find where she got these, but that was a really nice gift from her because she knows I like these, so that was really sweet. The other is kind of similar in that same type of category. Favorite for this year are reusable cotton rounds. So these have been great. I don't know about you guys, but I go through cotton rounds like crazy and I was throwing away so many cotton rounds. I ordered mine from Etsy. These are, I'll link the shop below, assuming she's still making them. But these are just kind of like they're kind of a thin material, kind of like I think they're made of like hemp or cotton or something, but they're really soft. I feel like they don't absorb as much product as regular cotton rounds do, so I feel like I may be wasting a little bit less product. And again, they're just more environmentally friendly and they're more cost effective because I don't have to keep repurchasing cotton rounds. So those have been a great find this year. Also for Christmas, that same aunt got me some more of those, so I'm really excited. Actually, I'm not sure if these are meant to be makeup remover cloths, these little rounds that she got me, or if they're meant to be cotton rounds. They're super soft. They're kind of a similar material to the makeup remover ones, so I'm sure you could use them. Maybe you could use them for both. I'll probably use them as cotton rounds, just because I usually like to have a bigger cloth to remove my makeup, but these are super soft. I think these are from the brand, what is this called? We Greco? They came in like a little drawstring bag, which will be perfect for storing dirty ones and then washing them. I always machine wash these, but I always make sure to put them in like a mesh laundry bag before I wash them because I don't want them to get lost or get like stuck in the washing machine. And I also dry them in the dryer, but I keep them in that same mesh laundry bag when I do it. So those have been great this year. I feel like with the makeup remover cloths and with those reusable cotton rounds combined, I've created a lot less trash this year in my skincare routine and my beauty routine, just by making those two switches, and they were really easy to do. Of course, you will end up paying a little bit more upfront, I think, for the cotton rounds, but they last forever, assuming you don't lose them. So I'm really happy that I made the switch to those this year, and I highly recommend those, especially if you are either looking to save money or just looking to you know, create less trash, less waste. They're both great options. So I think that those are all of my 2018 favorites. I feel like I'm probably gonna realize I forgot something in like half an hour as soon as I stop filming this, but those were all of the 2018 beauty favorites that I had for this year that I can think of right now at least. Like I said, I didn't include something from every category. I tried to just really pick the products that were actual like standout products this year that really either changed the game for me in some way or just, you know, products that are my absolute favorites. So that's it for this best of 2018 video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will have a worst products of 2018 coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. That'll be a fun one. It'll be shorter than this one though, because I don't have as many unfavorites. But that's all for today. I will talk to you guys next time.